how to use the chair for the poses that we're doing. And sometimes I'll be referring specifically to what he's doing. Other times, I think just looking at him, you'll get a sense of it. So this week is magnetism, and Keshava is going to be giving us the talk on magnetism. A very magnetic talk is what James just said. So I had, here we are. So in the Raja Yoga book, it says, this is on page 293, whatever one holds strongly in his mind, that he attracts to himself. So I thought that as we practice tonight, perhaps calling upon one of the aspects of the divine, a love, peace, joy, or light, maybe one of those, you could pick a different one if you like, that as we're practicing, there's two pieces that I want us to focus on. One is the flow of energy moving through us. And as that flow of energy increases and we align it with a specific thought, see if you can begin to feel your own sense of strengthening energetically and therefore magnetically that quality that you'd like to experience and have more of in your life. Okay? So I'll put my book down. And we will begin with the full yogic breath flow. I'll do that standing. I'm thinking, James, to have you seated to do that. So James will show you how we can practice this in a chair. So if you're standing, we come into Tadasana, mountain pose, and you take a moment to find your center. If you're seated, you're doing a similar thing, practicing feeling stable and centered in yourself. This is the essence of Tadasana, centered, stable, awake and ready. So there's a quality of readiness for practice, readiness for divine guidance, receptivity to your own highest self. I stand ready to obey thy least command. The affirmation for Tadasana. Standing mountain pose, I stand ready to obey thy least command, the inner guidance of the divine, your own highest truth. Very nice. From here we'll flow into full yogic breath flow. So we inhale up, the arms come up and we expand, just a slight backward bend. Keep the hands close to the body as you exhale and come forward, and I'll turn to the side. Exhale, come down, surrender, release. The knees are bent and the chin is tucked close to the chest as you inhale up and expand back. Flowing at your own pace, visualize that the hands are magnets guiding the flow of prana and life force through the body. Inhaling as you rise up, and the hands can stop at the heart center or go all the way up above you. So you decide what works for your body. And if it's comfortable and better to only have one arm go up, as James is practicing, that's fine too. Inhale up, reach tall, and exhale down. Very nice. So for our class, just a reminder, we have the warm-ups that we have that little video for you before class. So very often I'm going right into postures, and I just want to let you know that. So we will actually go right into Vrikasana, the tree pose, and James will show you how to practice this in a chair using a seat. You can use this with a bolster and blanket or just the base of the chair. If you're standing, we're going to begin on the left foot, and the right foot comes to the side, and the toes, the ball of the foot can be on the floor, or you can lift that up, and the hands can be at the heart, or you can bring the arms above you. You can start with the foot lifted, and if you decide at some point you want to bring the foot down, it's fine. The gaze of the eyes is slightly lifted upward. Breathing deeply. Tune into the quality of stability and calm composure. Vrikasana, the tree pose. I am calm. I am poised. Keep the breath flowing. I am calm. I am poised. The fingertips pointed upward, whether at the heart center or above the head, guide the energy to rise. The awakened energy flows to the point between the eyebrows, the seat of superconsciousness. I am calm. I am poised. Very nice. We'll inhale up if the arms are above you. Lengthen the arms and exhale down. And pause for a moment. James will shift his chair just so you can see him practicing on the other side. Deep, full breath in and out. And now we'll stand on the right leg and we'll bring the left foot into position. So ball of the foot on the floor if you're standing, or you can lift it up to the calf or up to the thigh, whatever works for you. The hands can be at the heart or inhale them above the head. The gaze of the eyes is lifted. Keeping the breath flowing. Mentally affirming, I am calm. I am poised. And see if you can sense the qualities of calmness and poise within you, within the body, within the heart, within the mind. I am calm. I am poised. Inhale up and exhale, arms down, feet side by side, and pause for a moment now in Tadasana. Relax the shoulders down from the ears, relax the breath. I am calm. I am poised. Very nice. From here we'll practice Garudasana, the eagle pose. And with the eagle pose, James will show you this in the chair. We're going to first be standing, or if you're seated, what we call the base leg is the left leg, and the right leg comes around. And the knees hug each other. And if you're standing especially, you're going to bend your knees a little bit. And in the hugging, the right leg can kind of rest on the calf, or it's the calf. Anyway, there's a connection. James was pointing this out to me earlier. It's more difficult for me to describe.
The left kneecap goes into the calf of the right.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that. But I always say just have the knees hugging and be stable. So then what we're going to do is take the left arm and have that center point. And I'm going to show you having the arm above you. So that's the right arm comes down and the elbows cross. And you can have the hands rest on the shoulders or bring the backs of the hands together or the palms together. And then once that happens, I like to lift my shoulders a little bit and come down slightly with the knees. The gaze of the eyes is lifted. The second time I'll practice, I'll do this from the side so you can see a side angle view. So Garudasana is a very dynamic asana. And it gathers the energy. It awakens energy and gathers it to come to our center and lifts the rising energy, very centered, lifts to the spiritual eye. And we're able to access inner qualities of stability, strength, and calmness. Inner serenity. The affirmation is at the center of life's storms. I stand serene. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Very nice. Well, inhale, release the arms. If you're standing, I like to bring them all the way up and stretch, and exhale, arms down. Come back to Tadasana, or a seated neutral pose. Relax the body fully and just notice how you feel. See if you can experience or sense this quality of the energy coming to your center and rising here and giving you access to this inner calm of serenity. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Very nice. Let's go to the other side. So now we're going to stand on the right leg, and we'll bring the left leg around. We hug the knees. I come down slightly. We'll bring the right arm center point. The left arm comes up. So I like to inhale, exhale down, elbows cross, and bring the hands into position. I realize I didn't go to my side, so let me get you into the pose, and then I'll turn to the side. So then I like to come down just a bit with my knees and up a little bit with my arms. So let me come out just to show you. You could also lift the foot off the floor. I tend not to do that, but you could. And again, I lift my elbows up a little bit to increase the stretch in the shoulders and in the upper back without ever overdoing it. You don't want to overstretch those muscles. Deep, full breaths in and out as you mentally affirm, at the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Feel yourself centered, stable, and strong. Swirling energy of life around you. Calm within. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Very nice. Deep, full breath in. We'll release the arms. If you're standing, and you could do this seated as well, you can bring them up above you and exhale them down to the side. And come back and pause for a moment, relaxed in your body, relaxed with your breath. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Very nice. So if you're standing, I'm going to have us come down to the floor on our knees in Vajrasana. And James is seated in the seated firm pose. So I just want to show you this pose on the floor. The traditional is we take the right large toe and lift it and place it over the left, if it's comfortable for your body. So firm pose, one of the images is a large boulder in a riverbed, and the water swirls around it, but it's stable and unmoving. And there are times in our lives where we need to be unyielding. So this is a quality, we'll talk later in the course about the chakras. This is a quality of the earth element. And the positive quality of that element is steadfast, firm and steadfast. So you imagine yourself committed to your path of spiritual awakening and tuning into this inner strength and inner stability that allows you to be faithful to your highest aspirations. So let's take a moment here. Bringing your awareness to the quality of inner strength and stability, quiet in the body, the heart, and mind. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. Very nice. From here, we'll come into Balasana, the child's pose. James will show you this in the chair. And on the floor, your hands are, I take my hands from my lap, I bring them to my side. I generally uncross my toes if I had them crossed. Lift and lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale forward, take your time. And the body lays on top of the thighs. One modification on the floor is to bring your arms in front and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Traditional child's pose, the hands are behind you. You release the forehead to the floor. A nice gentle stretch for the spine. A pose of relaxation, releasing outer connections, distractions, keeping the energy flowing in a relaxed inward direction. The affirmation is, I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. To come out of the pose, we inhale, bring ourselves back to Vajrasana. And from Vajrasana, we'll come into Ustrasana, the camel pose. And James will show you this from the chair. So on the floor, we're kneeling. The hands go to the pelvic rim. The elbows come towards each other. The hands will guide the hips forward as you begin to offer yourself backward. Moving slowly, lifting the heart to the sky. You can keep your hands on the pelvic rim the whole time. You could turn your toes under and bring your hands to your heels. Or you could bring your hands to your heels with the feet flat on the floor. Feel your heart and your body opening to receive divine healing light. The mind is receptive, your whole self calling to this divine light. With calm faith I open to thy light. With calm faith I open to thy light. With calm faith I open to thy light. We'll inhale, bring ourselves back to neutral. Firm pose on the floor or seated Vajrasana. As you pause, see if you can feel a strong flow of energy in the spine. With calm faith, I open to thy light. Visualize yourself bathed in divine healing light. Very nice. From here, we'll practice a spinal twist. James will show you the twist in the chair. So in the chair, it's Ardha Matsyendrasana. Do you need guidance on that? So what you'll do is you'll cross your left leg over the right, and you'll turn towards the left with a lengthened spine. On the floor, we have feet on the floor and knees bent, and we'll take the left leg, cross that over the right, lift and lengthen. So lift and bring the hips to the right, and then exhale, bring those knees down. Have the arm behind you, and you just gently lift the head and look over the left shoulder. Deep, full breaths in and out. Jatari Parivartanasana, the supine twist. We can utilize the affirmation for both poses. The beautiful affirmation is, I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. So as you breathe, feel yourself welcoming, opening to this divine flow of energy, God's life within you. I open to the flow of God's life within me. To come out of the pose, we'll bring ourselves back to neutral. If you're in either case, we uncross the legs. If you're on the floor, press down on the feet, lift both hips and buttocks up to bring the spine back to neutral. We'll bring the arms out to shoulder height again. We'll cross the right leg over the left. I'm going to show you from this position. And then exhale that knee towards the right. And lift the head to look over the left shoulder. And you can have your hand resting on the thigh if you like. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Feel your body as a channel of divine energy flowing through each cell of the body, washing through the heart center, washing through the brain, filling you with light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. To come out of the pose, we bring ourselves back to neutral. Lift the hips and buttocks to lower the spine back to neutral. And from here, we'll come into Shavasana, and James will show you supported Shavasana in the chair, and I'll show you Shavasana on the floor. Now, if you're on the floor and you prefer to have your feet on the floor and knees bent, you can. You could also place something under the knees. Today, I'll just extend. Oops, sorry, dear. There we go. So hopefully you can still see me. I think you can. So come into a comfortable supine position. Relax the body fully and completely. We take this time in Shavasana to let go of all activity, to relax the breath, and to allow our consciousness to move beyond the physical body into the awareness of the breath and energy body, lifting the gaze towards the point between the eyebrows in a very relaxed way, tuning into the essence of divinity within you. A few moments of silence now, resting in the inner abode of light, peace, and joy. Bringing awareness now back to the breath. Gently guide the awareness back to the body. If you're on the floor, you can bring your feet up, knees bent, and draw them in towards the chest. If you're in the chair, just any movement that feels good for you. On the floor, you can rock side to side gently. And then roll to the right side. Use the left arm to help you. You'll bring yourself up into a comfortable seat for our meditation practice now.